The best and worst cities for pet lovers have been named. We'll tell you where one Wisconsin city ranks, plus what your favorite paint colors say about you. We'll have all that and much more. Keep watching. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching the Real Estate News. I'm your host, Stacy Hansen. Let's take a look at your headlines. A slight uptick in interest rates seems to have been enough to end a brief improvement in mortgage application numbers. Applications to refinance home loans had spiked up dramatically at the end of August, but the numbers proceeded to fall by 10% in the first week of September. According to the Mortgage Bankers Association, loan sizes also shrunk after seeing gains the previous week. The 30-year fixed rate on mortgages increased by only 0.2% during that time. Madison, Wisconsin has been ranked as one of the 10 best U.S. cities for pet lovers. Wallet Hub recently conducted a study to find this year's best and worst U.S. cities for pet lovers. Madison came in at number 10 on the best list, while the number 1 city was Cincinnati. The site compared 100 of the most populated U.S. cities across 3 categories. The budget category looked at things like vet care costs and dog insurance premiums. The second category, health and wellness, looked at the number of pet-friendly businesses and the ratio of veterinarians and pet caretakers to city residents. And finally, the outdoor category compared the number of dog parks and pet-friendly trails. Chicago ranked as one of the worst cities to have a pet at number 94. New York City and Newark, New Jersey came in last as numbers 99 and 100 respectively. New data suggests that builders nationwide are starting a shift toward building more entry-level homes. According to the Wall Street Journal, the median-sized home under construction in the second quarter was 2,479 square feet. That's about the size of a walk-in closet, 40 square feet smaller than the high set in the first quarter. The Journal reports that many economists and builders have been seeing early signs that more first-time home buyers are returning to the housing market. Some builders have already started divisions that will cater to the anticipated wave of first-time buyers looking for starter homes. Ever wonder what your favorite paint color says about you? Real Simple has investigated it, and here is what they found. If you love the soft, warm shades associated with a roaring fire, think yellows, oranges, peaches, and pinks, you likely have a cheerful, welcoming personality. You're nurturing and love having people over. If you gravitate towards soft, cool tones like lavenders, greens, and medium blues, you probably see your home as an oasis of calm in a hectic world. That's because these colors are widely perceived as being tranquil and soothing. If you lean the opposite way and favor bold jewel tones, you are likely to be outgoing, confident, and creative. And finally, those who prefer neutral colors are generally even-keeled and practical and want to create a crisp, classic look. Stay tuned, we'll have more real estate news right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Kirsten Goggin from Century 21 Affiliated. Welcome back, Kirsten. So nice to have you here.
Thanks.
Hi.
Long time no see. Looking gorgeous as always.
Hey, you too. Now you have some new listings coming up that you want to tell us about, right?
Yes, super excited. I'm going to give you a little bit of a teaser here because they're not quite on the MLS just yet, but that doesn't mean that you can't get in for a showing. And if you're looking and this sounds like the perfect property for you, just get a hold of me or have your buyer's agent contact me and set it up. I've got one coming up soon in Sun Prairie. So it's east side. It's the Cardinal Crest and Carriage Hills Estates area. It's East Side School District Elementary, which is, well, Sun Prairie School District, East Side Elementary, but hugely rated. I think it's number 10 on bestschools.org, so very highly rated. And this is a great house. So it's right down from a huge 20-acre park, and there's like a hill that the kids go sledding in the wintertime. I used to live right across the street, so I'm very familiar with this neighborhood, and it's very nice. So this one's gonna go pretty fast. And the home itself is gorgeous as well. So 4 bedrooms, just shy of 2,600 square feet, 2-car garage. It's got gorgeous vaulted ceilings, fireplace, solid surface countertops. It's a really, really beautiful home. It's been very well maintained, and the sellers are really sad to be moving, but it's going to be happening due to a work relocation, so they'll miss it, but their loss can be your gain.
What else do you have?
Oh, so I've got another one coming up in the beautiful Bergamot in Oregon by the golf course there. So this house will leave you wanting for nothing. It has been upgraded all the way around. So first off, it's on a corner lot and it's across from a park. So there's gorgeous sunsets there all the time. Nice brick on the exterior, just shy of 3,800 square feet, 5 bedrooms. And seriously, the upgrades are insane in this house. So formal dining room with backlit tray ceiling. We've got a vaulted kitchen and living room area. There's 2 fireplaces. The master suite is amazing. It's got his and her walk-in closets. How great does that get?
Oh, I'd love that.
So Mr. Buyer might actually get some space in there somewhere. Bathroom has double sinks, soaking tub, separate shower, just everything you would possibly want. It's all, the lower level's wired for surround sound and a projector. So, and it walks out. So, I mean, tons of storage, really, it has everything. So that's gonna be hitting the market October 1st. Wish I had pictures for both of them for you, but I don't have them back yet. My professional photographer is working really hard on that for me right now.
You did a great job of painting a mental picture, though. They sound
Thanks.
amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I want to move in.
Exactly. So what else? Anything else?
Yes. I think I mentioned last time that I brought on Savannah Hauglid as my new buyer specialist, and she's rocking it. She's been working with me all summer. She came to me as an intern, and she's fully licensed, and she's amazing. Comes from a real estate background, which is pretty apparent because she just caught right on real quick, and she's out there taking care of a big piece of my buyers. So I now have... Well, and I just had a bunch of closings for my listings, and the ones that I've got are mostly under contract. So I'm running a special for the first time in 7.5 years in my career. I'm going to be running some special offers to encourage and build back up my listing inventory through the month of October. So in addition to the standard things that I offer, which would be professional photography, video tour, enhancements on Zillow, TrulyARealtor.com, all that good stuff, UHP home warranty. But in addition to those items, some of my optional packages I'm going to be including for folks that are looking to sell in the next month or two or get their property listed. So some of those things include post move out cleaners. So one less thing you have to do, cleaners will come in, take care of all of it for you.
That's nice.
Yeah, and you're also going to have a separate property website, so 123mainstreet.com or whatever, which has unlimited photos, because I usually get about 50 from my photographer, and I can only put 25 online. So that's a great way to really showcase and feature your listing. And probably the coolest thing is that I'll be offering commercials right here on CW for just your property. So that's pretty huge. And talk about getting some awesome exposure and getting that house to move real quickly for you.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I need listings. So if you're even thinking about selling, get in touch with me, kjsellsmadison.com, or my number, which I'm sure is flashing below, but I'll get you all set up. And even if it's not till next year, we'll get you in the right direction, get you all ready for when the time is right.
So is fall a good time to list then?
People think, oh, it slows down, I should wait till spring, but the market's still going, it's still hopping. And while it is true, historically, showings are a little bit slower in the fall and winter, but it's quality over quantity, because if people are looking in the fall and winter, they're not doing it just for funsies. They're gonna be buying a house. There's a reason they're out there looking, and it's supply and demand. Are you gonna get more for your house if there's less to choose from? Yes.
Sounds good. Well, thanks so much. It's always a pleasure to have you here, Kirsten.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
And you stay tuned. We'll have more coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Jo Ferraro. She's the broker and owner at Century 21 Affiliated. Welcome, Jo. So nice to have you here.
Thanks, Stacy. It's great to be here.
So I heard that you were recently endorsed by Barbara Corcoran from the Shark Tank show. How did that happen?
Absolutely, and it was quite the honor. Well, I'm part of a real estate mastermind group with top agents and brokers around the country. We get together a few times a year in mastermind, and she had come to one of our mastermind groups and to speak and teach us about her real estate career and how she was so successful and give us some tips and pointers. And she loved our group so much, she just said, I want to figure out a way to work with you guys. And so we talked to her for about a year and flew to New York and went through a vetting process, pretty serious. But yeah, it's quite the honor, and I'm really excited about it.
That's really exciting. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So back in Madison, what trends are you seeing in this area?
Well, in Madison, we've had an exciting year. Listing inventory is still low, as you know, most people do know. It does depend on the location and neighborhood and price points. We've seen multiple offers on several homes. One of the exciting things that I developed this year was a buyer escalation clause to help our buyer clients that were competing with other offers win. So that's been really phenomenal, and it's just been a win-win for both our sellers and our buyer clients.
Now, you've also had amazing success just in general over the past 17 years in real estate.
Yeah.
And you've continued to grow while many others have not. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think a little bit of a I can do and never give up, never die attitude, definitely. I was in the real estate as an investor before I actually got my license. So I flipped houses and invested in real estate, worked with a lot of different agents and brokers, which gave me an inside or a backside experience, which I think really brought a lot to the table when I did get my license. And then when the market went down, I had a team and just figured I got to do something different, and looked for different opportunities, technology, invested quite a bit in that, and took some big risks, and it paid off. And I really have an amazing team, so I can't take all the credit myself.
But it sounds like it all really paid off.
Yeah.
Now, just a couple seconds left. Now, I hear you're looking to grow even more and open another office. That's really exciting. Tell us a little bit more about that in the time we have left.
Yeah, it is really exciting. I'm looking for to open an office and grow my team on the west side of Madison or Middleton. So if you know of anybody or a location, shoot me an email at info@soldinmadison.com. And I'm also looking to hire 2 more buyer's agents on my team, and I'm going to guarantee that they will make a minimum of $50,000 their first year, or I'll pay them the difference.
Sounds like a good deal. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today, Joe.
Thank you. Thanks, Stacy.
And you stay tuned. We'll have more right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Darren Lenzendorf. He's with Powerhouse Team Realty. Welcome, Darren. Nice to have you here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about the trend toward downsizing. Are you seeing much of that around this area?
Yes, of course. There's the empty nesters, the people that kids have left the home, that type of situation. But also a trend that I'm seeing is toward minimalizing. Getting rid of things, getting a lower house payment, moving into a smaller house that's more manageable. People talk about being house poor, not being able to vacation because their house is too big. So there is a trend toward what I call minimalizing their life, or simplifying.
So you're seeing that among younger people then too, huh?
Yeah, definitely younger people who, the younger generation are moving away from the larger homes.
That's interesting. So now if someone out there is looking to do that, what sort of options are out there for them in terms of where they'll buy?
Yeah, of course, I can help people market and sell their home, the home that they're trying to downsize out of. But there's a lot of good condo buys in this market. They're still out there. Also, smaller, more affordable homes are still out there, but it's tough because they go very quickly. So having an agent stay on top of that market and keep you informed is very important. So I can help sellers navigate that process. Also, there's the 55 and older communities, which there's quite a bit of information to go through and navigate in terms of the 55 and older. So I can help with that too.
Interesting. Now, do you have any homes that the sellers are downsizing?
I do. I have a home in Fitchburg. It's Swan Creek. It's 5153 Nine Bark Drive. It's a 5-bedroom home, 3 baths. It's value range price $299,900 to $319,900. And the really nice thing about it is it's an open floor plan. It's a ranch, so the lower level is perfect for either an extended family. We run into situations where the extended family is living with a family, or teenagers just needing their own area and their own space, it's a perfect setup because there's 2 bedrooms downstairs, a bath, and a large family room.
So are you able to help with rent to own for those who aren't quite ready to purchase?
Yeah, this market can be tough for some buyers with all the changes in the mortgage business. So I do help people. I do an evaluation and determine if rent to own might be the right thing for them. And from the rent to own, the beginning of the process, what I can do is work with a lender to get them qualified. So at the end of their option period with the rent to own, they're able to purchase. The other thing is sometimes, you know, there's so many lenders out there. I've run into people that actually are qualified. They're just not talking to the right people. And I've been able to put them in touch with someone to get them qualified right away.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by today, Darren. It was very interesting.
Thanks for having me.
And you stay tuned. We'll have more coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Darcy Haber. She's the eco-broker and owner at Solidarity Realty. Welcome, Darcy. So nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Stacey.
Sure.
It's great to be here.
Sure. Now, what makes Solidarity Realty an alternative for people?
Well, we're an alternative in many ways, but most importantly, we're a local independent realty firm, and we provide incredible customer service, but what we specialize in is honesty and integrity. For example, we would never represent both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction.
So how does a potential buyer or seller benefit from that?
Well, they can, rest assured that we are representing and protecting their best interests all along. We won't ever use a loophole in the contract to trick them into allowing us to go neutral and represent both sides, because we don't think it's ethically possible.
So what is the best kept secret from real estate buyers, in your opinion?
That they don't have to pay for a dime to have a buyer's agent represent them from the beginning. Buyer's agents are paid after the whole deal is done. The listing agent is paid by the seller, and then the listing agent splits his or her commission with the buyer's agent. It all happens behind the scenes, and the buyer's agent doesn't feel a thing. Oh, I'm sorry, the buyer doesn't feel a thing.
So you say that the buyer should not call the number on the side outside of the home they are interested in, and why would you say that?
That's because when you're calling the number on the sign, you are wanting to see the house, and the agent would be happy to show it to you as soon as possible. But they're the listing agent, and they represent the best interests of the sellers. So once you see the house with that agent, you are no longer able to have that buyer's agent, another buyer's agent, represent you at no cost. So you're stuck with doing a transaction with someone that represents the best interest of the sellers.
Interesting. So why isn't this common knowledge for real estate consumers?
Well, because unfortunately there's some fat cat agents out there who like to double dip and have a lot of name recognition and are able to take both sides of the transaction that way, and they would rather double dip than represent the best interests of their clients. It's unfortunate, and we'd like to get the word out to more people to have representation. It's like going to court without a lawyer.
So you're also listed as an eco-broker, is that right? What is that exactly?
I have extra training in helping people, both buyers and sellers. So when I'm showing homes to new buyers or even second-time home buyers, I help them evaluate the property in terms of energy efficiency and how much that's going to cost them on a monthly basis, whether the home is really a good deal after all, because it makes a big impact on your monthly payment, how efficient a home is. And then for sellers, I'm able to highlight the energy efficiency improvements they've done. I know the value of them. I know how much it costs. And even if they do something invisible, like insulate their walls, I'm able to highlight that for them and make it of value in the transaction.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by today, Darcy. It was nice to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Stacey.
Sure, and you stay tuned. We'll have more coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Bob Stonestreet. He's a sales manager at Madison Custom Flooring. Welcome, Bob. So nice to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
So it's tempting to cut corners on things like flooring when you're getting ready to sell. What would you say to that?
I would say that's probably not a good idea because it's going to lower your resale value. People can notice quality, and it's also indicative of how well the house may have been maintained in general. So I would say, don't cut corners, and also if your house doesn't sell right away, you want your investment to look new when it does sell.
Those are all good tips. Now let me ask you this. What if you have older flooring, you're not sure what it's made of? Should you get it tested for toxins?
I always recommend that. Generally, if you're purchasing a house, you should have a home inspector look at your house, and he would probably recommend having it tested in case it was asbestos or there were formaldehyde concerns.
That's scary. But what years were they really having that put into houses?
Well, asbestos is more houses like were pre-60s, almost up and then lead-based paints in the 70s, of course. And even as recently as this year, a lot of laminate floorings have had high levels of formaldehyde, so it's still a concern.
Wow, that's good to know. So those with children or pets, what's a good floor covering option for them? Because you do have a lot of accidents with both.
Yes. Hardwood or ceramic tile are always a great durable option. Current trend in hardwood flooring you're finding is hand scrapes, so it has kind of a rustic look to it. So if you do see an occasional scratch or nick, it's not going to be as noticeable because it kind of works right in with the character of the wood.
That's a good tip. So now people have different flooring covering options through their home sometime. Is that a good idea to kind of mix it up a little bit?
You can have different textures, but if you can keep it along the same color schemes, that's a great idea. It's going to give your home a more open, spacious feel and just gives it a more fluid flow throughout.
So keeping the same color scheme is probably the main thing to look for then.
Generally, yes.
So what floor covering options will give me the highest rate of return on my investment if I decide that I'm going to go for it and replace?
Solid hardwood flooring is always a good investment. It's never gone out of style. When people are looking for homes, that's one of the first things they're always looking for, seems to use hardwood floors. And if you have a solid hardwood floor, you can refinish it nearly as many times as you need to if you want to maintain it. Today's good finishes will last up to 20 years or so.
So a lot of people are looking for green things now. What options do you have if you want some green flooring?
Well, bamboo and cork are really popular right now. They're considered renewable resources. And another great option is what is called marmoleum flooring. It's all natural. It goes back to the original linoleum back in the 30s. It's made with linseed oil. It has no off-gassing, and it's just very low in toxins, or actually zero toxins because it is all natural. There's even a video on YouTube of some gentleman eating it.
Wow. Well, I guess that's pretty safe then. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today, Bob. It was nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And you stay tuned. We'll have more coming up right after this. From all of us here, I want to thank our guests for stopping by and all of you for tuning in to your real estate news. I'm Stacy Hansen. We'll see you next time.